Hi guys, I'm Galsen Kittens and welcome to the AINIRO Magic Show. So today a friend of mine tipped me off about that Research and Innovation Foundation in Cyprus launches a chatbot called Diane to enhance service and support for citizens. So the Research and Innovation Foundation is a semi-public organization. I'm not entirely sure about how they structured themselves, but basically, their chatbot is a scam. I don't know any other ways to put it. It has a nice icon. That's where it ends. So let's try it out side by side with an AINIRO chatbot that is based upon RNI's data. So the way I created this AI chatbot, which is the AINIRO version, you can see here it's got a slightly different button, but if they want to have a nice icon on an AINIRO chatbot, that's a 5-minute job for us. So the way I created the AINIRO chatbot, I went to research.org.cy and you can reproduce what I did. You just go to ainiro.io, you fill out the form and you fill out the website research.org.cy and you can reproduce what I'm demonstrating here. So first, let's say hi to the Diane chatbot. Now, the paradox is that the Diane chatbot is delivered by somebody, I actually know them. They're called ScalesForce.com.cy. Now, if you look at their website, they claim to be located in Great Britain, but actually they're not. They have a Cyprus entity, something you can see from the URL here probably. And I actually know one of the founders, and they have amazing Gelastic servers and hosting services, but their AI chatbot is rubbish. I offered a collaboration with them. With ScalesForce several years ago, where I would develop their software. I suspect after having seen this email, this demonstration, they will probably regret the decision of turning me down. So first of all, the chatbot, the Diane chatbot from the Diane chatbot RNI is currently using, it's asking you for an email initially before it allows you access. Okay, that's a no-brainer in an AINIRO chatbot, so we can easily add that too. So now, now that we have access to the actual chatbot, let's try to communicate with it. Hi, sorry, but could you please rephrase your question? Let's try the AINIRO AI chatbot. Same question. Now, yet again, I can configure this to collect email addresses. Initially, it's a 5-minute job for me, adding a questionnaire, asking the user for his email address. Here I say, hi. Hello, welcome to the Research and Innovation Foundation. My name is Diane, and I'm here to help you explore the various funding opportunities and resources available to support your innovation and research project. How can I assist you today? Okay, what types of funding programs are available for startups? And the AINIRO chatbot, of course, gives you a detailed breakdown of every single funding program that RNI have. I need to emphasize this AI chatbot was built in literally 10 minutes. When we take on a professional client, we spend hours. And I actually did some research on RNI's website. It's a WordPress website, version 6.5.4, published early 2024, implying it has an API, implying we can directly integrate with their API. They have roughly 1,000 pages in total, including their blogs, which means it's well within our professional plan, implying RNI would pay $298 a month for a chatbot that is basically 10 times the quality of this demo chatbot. Let's try the same question here. Okay, so it kind of gives an answer. Pre-seed programs, seed programs, innovate programs, research in enterprise code, develop. Obviously, this answer is not as good as this one. It doesn't give me follow-up questions. Here I can ask, how can I apply for the EIT Health Catapult program, which apparently is a program that RNI actually has. Here it comes with a detailed breakdown. Let's see what RNI's Diane answers me. While we wait for that guy, as you can see, it provides links. It provides, can you show images? Here you can see this guy can show images. It could show more images. Who is the CEO of RNI? Let's try this guy. Who is the CEO of RNI? Now, if you look at the technology behind too. So let's maximize this guy, right? Let's click F12 and let's turn off cache here. And let's remove this guy and click all here and do a Control R. That's going to do a hard refresh of the entirety of the page. So RNI's website is 335 HTTP requests, 6.9 megabytes, 11.5 megabytes of resources. I've had a little bit of a look on ScalesForce's AI chatbot, and it looks as though they are using iframes. So my guess is that an approximate 2 to 5 megabytes of whatever it's downloading here is the AI chatbot, which actually means that the AI chatbot destroys the website. Let me illustrate why by opening up an incognito window here and count seconds now. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, yeah, 5 seconds. You've lost 25% of your users at this point because users today simply do not have the patience to wait for more than 2 to 3 seconds before a website loads, before they click the back button. So according to research conducted by Google more than 10 years ago, more than 50% of your users will actually click the back button if your site takes more than 10 seconds to load. I suspect those same figures for 2024 are far larger, which implies that if RNI pays for Google ads or Facebook ads to front their landing page here, in an ad, they're actually losing between 25 to 50% of their ads, their ad program, because people will click the ad, at which point they have to pay Facebook or Google for a click. But before the website loads, some 25 to 50% of their users will simply click the back button, never seeing the website, because they don't have the patience to wait for it. So let's ask it some more questions. What more can you answer, right? So ask this guy. What more can you answer? Our AI chatbot is 100 kilobytes. My guess is that Diane from ScalesForce is somewhere between 2 to 5 megabytes. That means that Diane from ScalesForce is somewhere between 20 and 50 times larger on bandwidth than an AINIRO AI chatbot. An AINIRO AI chatbot loads and initializes completely in somewhere between 0.1 and 0.3 seconds. This Diane from ScalesForce probably requires some 3 seconds to simply load. We can check that actually by doing a refresh on the page, at which point you will see it takes a lot of time for the chatbot to show up. And even if you turn off cache, I suspect the figures will be way worse. So let's refresh this guy and refresh this guy. As you can see, I refreshed the RNI before I refreshed AINIRO. Still AINIRO AI chatbot button loaded 3 seconds before Diane from ScalesForce. So now let's see if Diane from ScalesForce can keep context. It actually can, so it actually stores context, which is a good thing. What more can you tell me about it? Let's see if it, whoops. Let's see if it can, if you can provide follow-up questions, right? What more can you tell me about it? And of course, Diane from ScalesForce has absolutely no context awareness, so it doesn't actually realize the subject of the conversation, while our chatbot actually keeps the subject of the conversation, allowing you to continue asking follow-up questions. In addition to that, it automatically gives you follow-up questions. Now, our AI chatbot could, in theory, be even configured to actually fill out application forms automatically for the user, etc., etc. So why am I talking about this? Well, you see, about 1 year ago, I contacted Lukadis, the CEO of RNI in Cyprus, and I told him I was in a desperate situation and I could use some help, right? So I contacted him on LinkedIn. And here you can see our conversation. Tomorrow, public holiday. I sent him a demo, right, of an AI chatbot like this. Sent him the price. We changed prices since then, actually less expensive. At which point Theodoros told me that he was going to buy a license from us, and it was an official offer. So why is this important? Well, because so Cyprus is an EU company. According to laws and regulations in the EU, if a public entity within an EU country is to purchase any software system or any service or product whatsoever, they are legally obligated, according to law and regulations within the EU, to put that out on a bid. Now, there's a loophole in that law that says specifically if the bid is less than 50,000 euros in total costs, they are allowed to only take and accept bids within their own country. However, AINIRO is a separate company. Now, I can objectively prove that we have a better AI chatbot than ScalesForce, using absolutely every possible criteria there exists to objectively prove quality. I can objectively prove that our chatbot is better than Diane on every single possible to measure criteria. However, I know one of the founders of ScalesForce. He is actually the cousin of my former accountant. And my former accountant's best friend and colleague, who is a lawyer, is a childhood friend of the former Minister of Finance in Cyprus. Now, there's an expression in Cyprus that goes as follows. In Cyprus, it's not who you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. The only problem with that is that Cyprus is an EU country. And according to EU laws and regulation, that's illegal. It's actually considered corruption. Why? Because instead of emphasizing and guaranteeing the survival of the best, it guarantees the survival of the most corrupt. Now, I can prove that I delivered a bid to the CEO of the Cyprus Research and Innovation Foundation more than 1 year ago. And 2 days ago, they installed an AI chatbot on their website that I can prove using scientifically measurable, reproducible metrics is worse than what I delivered. Now, what ScalesForce is charging R&I, again, of course, I don't know. Maybe they're charging less, right? But if they're charging equally much or more as we are charging for our professional plan is $298 a month. So if ScalesForce is charging more than we are charging for our professional plan at AINIRO, then the Diane chatbot that R&I installed on their website 2 days ago is a felony. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.